Paul McCartney once revealed a terrifying health scare he experienced while working on the Band on the Run album. He recounted how he suddenly collapsed and struggled to breathe, fearing at the time that he might be dying. The incident occurred in Nigeria, where Paul was recording the album with Wings, his third with the band, and his fifth solo project, since parting ways with the Beatles in April 1970. Feeling that the recording studio was too stuffy, he stepped outside for some fresh air, only to find the outdoor conditions even more stifling. Soon after, he was struck by severe chest pain and began feeling dangerously unwell. As his condition deteriorated, Paul lost consciousness. His wife, Linda, initially thought he had died. Doctors later diagnosed the episode as a bronchial spasm. Paul was confined to bed for several days and unable to work, describing the ordeal as one of the most harrowing experiences of his life. Despite the setback, Band on the Run was eventually completed and released at the end of 1973. It went on to become Paul's most acclaimed solo album after the Beatles, selling over 1 million copies and marking his final release under Apple Records. In a past interview reflecting on the event, Paul explained that the studio felt suffocating, prompting him to step outside only to be hit by even worse air. That's when the chest pain struck and he blacked out. Linda, who witnessed the incident, was overwhelmed with panic and fear. Although a local doctor dismissed the episode as possibly related to heavy smoking, Paul recalled feeling genuinely terrified, bedridden, and convinced he was on the brink of death. He attributed the collapse to the intense pressure of producing a successful album in an unfamiliar and difficult environment, but that wasn't the only challenge Paul faced during his time in Lagos. Before the health scare, he and Linda were mugged at knife point while heading to visit their bandmate Denny Lane. Carrying cameras and demo tapes, they looked like ordinary tourists when a car approached them. Paul initially assumed the man stepping out was simply offering a ride and politely declined. Moments later, the situation turned dangerous. The car circled back, and a group of 5 or 6 men emerged, one of them wielding a knife. Linda screamed, begging them not to hurt Paul, while he tried to calm things down by offering them money. Among the stolen items were tape recordings of their new songs, forcing Paul to recreate the music later from memory. The attack left both Paul and Linda deeply shaken, and they were unable to sleep that night. Paul chose not to report the crime after being told the authorities were unlikely to take action. Still, he felt a deep sense of responsibility to finish the album, adding even more strain to what was already an incredibly intense period of his life.